Takes care of all these 3 houses.
That's a lot of water.
It seemed like it.
And he
There's
has
no water than it used to be because most of the wells around here are not in use anymore, so that gives me more water. I put a bigger pump in there. I had a 1/4 horse pump. That's all it would handle. So I had Stutzman put in a 1/2 horse. That's what we have now, a deep well pump. And it's only 42 feet deep.
This
But
is
the water
very deep
tests
that we get plenty of water.
pure.
Oh, and we've lived here ever since. And all the 60, well, no. We were married, how many years before you built this house?
4 years.
About 8 years?
Grandpa said 4.
Anyway,
8 years
see, we've
before
been
Loretta
married
was born.
64 years. And we lived uptown in apartments until his mother owned all this property.
Mm-hmm.
And so Minna went around and got permission from the whole family before he asked them if they cared if he bought this little corner here. That's what we first had.
Where did your mom live?
She lived in the old house that was still
Over there?
Yeah.
When you bought this part?
The old Lehman house is sitting right there where the Schaffner house is.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind it, in other words.
And so that's what we had. Just we
Fellow
didn't
by the
have
name of
that
Ensinger
backfield or any
built
of
that.
Well, how long was that original house back there that Florence,
That's the one that we lived in.
is that the one,
1919.
that old house, and it used to be here and they
Yeah.
moved it back there?
Yeah.
Yeah. The contractor built that house to sell, and he moved that one.
And that's the one that you originally lived in, or
Yeah,
your
that's the
folks,
one
your
I
mother
was
did?
6 years
We
old.
lived in there that's when Dad died in 1919.
So that was
We were
your
living in that house.
that was your old homestead, huh?
Yeah. And we lived there until 1940, I think.
Yeah.
Our mother did. Until she died in
Really?
40. Well, she died in 44.
You actually
3 days after you were
when
born.
they had movers move that back there?
He did.
Yep.
Yeah. And they
Movers
was
moved
We
gonna
didn't do it.
The contractor.
fix it
Yeah,
up.
he had a mover. Move it.
And he smoked, and he had paint all over the place, and I don't know what happened, but anyway, it caught on fire, and it burned it pretty bad. And they never did. It's still sitting there like that, except the back. He made a little apartment in the back of that old house, and that's where the people live that are taking care of Florence. But the rest of it's just like it was years ago. They never did anything to it. Sitting there.
When
like
did that burn, Dad? Do you remember?
Oh, let's see.
I think he laid a cigarette
They
down
moved
and
there, I
dropped
think, in
some of that
53.
paint, I think.
It must have been in the 60s.
Yeah. Because I remember kind of, but
Yeah.
it's been a long time.
Then when did your mom move in with you?
When was that, Dad? You remember?
She died in 62, so it was before that.
Didn't she live in a nursing home for a while?
Yeah, after she. Yeah,
About 2 or 3 years.
She died the
Yes.
year I graduated from high school.
Oh, that's right.
Remember? 62.
Yeah. She got so I
Was she
couldn't.
here then?
See, I couldn't take care of her.
She was
I
in the
couldn't
nursing
handle
home during. No, she was in Salem when she died,
Yeah.
wasn't she?
her. Yeah.
How long was she in a nursing home?
62?
Yeah, 62.
Oh, I don't know how long. About
A few years.
2 or 3 years, I guess. She was 85,
86.
86 when she died. So we haven't moved around much, you can see.
No, you haven't.
They say the average family moves, what, every 9
Well,
years or so?
In 39,
And we've
shortly
been
after we
all
built
this
this-
time.
the back bedroom, we left it sit, and then we moved to Portland. I worked for Nicole Door Company for about 9 months. Then we come back here and took over and finished the building and got a title to it. We didn't have anything. We just started building.
We didn't have any money.
Then we got a...
Was anyone living in it while you were in Portland?
Oh, Henry had his radio shop in it. So he moved it out when we come back.
When he first built this house, we could, you know, the inside wasn't finished. We could just walk through from one room to another with just those. And we had a wood stove, and it had a connection, so we heated. We had a water heater that worked from the wood stove.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a. When I swept the floor, there were big knots like that. And I used to be able to sweep the floor to those knots. I never remember that. And the bed we had, I don't know whether we had a bedstead or not, I can't remember, but Minnow's mother had an old feather bed, you know, mattress, feather. And that's what we slept in. And every morning it'd be so flat, I'd have to flap it up till we could... Oh, God, the way we lived in those. And when we didn't have any way to keep things cool, so Minnow dug a hole out here someplace, and we kept our butter and milk and everything in that, and he covered it up with wet burlap.
Grandpa's shaking his head.
Well, did too.
Used to have a screen away
Or a
from the
screen
house.
or something, I don't know.
Square screen box.
Anyway,
We put
that's
stuff
the
in
way
to
we
keep
kept
cool.
things cool. Very rugged in those days.
Well, I remember you telling me one time that to keep the room cool, you'd have a block of ice.
Oh, that, no, not here. That was when I lived back in Illinois.
In Illinois?
Oh, boy, talk about hot. It gets so hot there in the summer, and it doesn't cool off at night like it does here. You just suffocate all the time. So at night, we...
Well, hi. I guess you didn't go to Hermiston, huh?
We didn't go
Or Victoria or anywhere.
to Victoria yet.
We came here instead.
Yeah.
You figure this is where the crowd. This is where the crowd is,
It's
huh?
gotta be more fun.
Hi, how you
We're
doing?
videotaping
Hi.
the history of the.
and
That
that's
would
the
keep
way
you
we
cool.
kept us from
We
you
might have to
just
have you come
suffocated.
down.
Oh, I
It
don't
was
mind.
horrible. I wouldn't
Finally
live in
found me
my
a big
country.
shovel. I was using this.
How long did you live there?
Until there's nothing
I got a couple
Oh,
more
we
shots.
were only there about 2 years,
yeah,
and then we moved back. I couldn't take it anymore.
Well, I don't know,
Looks like it started out as
It started out as
And,
one of these, but it
my
ended up
first
this.
husband then worked in the
Put it
oil
together
field
several times.
They're
for
picking
most
on
of the
you.
time.
And this, I said I needed a steak.
I thought you said that he was in movies.
Moving out next door and
Did
takes
what?
one of their
I thought you said he was an actor.
Well,
extra.
An extra?
We got work
And so
once
he took
in
the
a
strap
while,
off.
but he
Just when the
never
time
was,
comes, just
you
pull the
know.
whole
Yeah,
thing
he did. Every once in a while he'd get a job, and they'd pay
So when did Jim
maybe
move around?
$1,000
He
or
just got
so.
through.
Do you know any famous movies that he was an extra in?
Oh,
He had fun.
heavens.
Where's he at in the house?
Well, yeah.
I don't remember. Isn't that awful? Yeah, there were 2 or 3, but usually he'd be where there's a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
He never worked in a movie where he was by himself. He wasn't that good.
Well, how are you?
Fine. You want to say?